This is the Georgia Farm Monitor. Since 1966, your source for state and national agribusiness news and features for farmers and consumers about Georgia's #1 industry, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by the state's largest general farm organization, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now, here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Burgamy.
Well, actually, Kenny Burgamy is on assignment this week. Instead, I'm Ray DeLessio flying solo with you for the next 30 minutes. Still, though, one less anchor doesn't mean a lack of content. Coming up on the program, hear what's on the horizon as producers gathered in Savannah for this year's Southeast Regional Fruit and Vegetable Conference. Mark Wildman with that story. Also on the program, in part 2 of his one-on-one conversation with the now retired U.S. Senator Saxby Chambliss, Kenny Burgamy tells us what's next for Chambliss now that he's packed his bags and left Washington, D.C. and headed home to Georgia. Plus, see what a little perseverance and teamwork did to help advance the ever-growing ag program in Habersham County. All this and more starting right now on the Georgia Farm Monitor. And we begin in Savannah, where recently Georgia fruit and vegetable growers gathered for a conference that was packed full of important industry information. The Southeast Regional Fruit and Vegetable Conference is a great way for growers to network and learn what is new in the very important ag sector. The Monitor's Mark Wildman was there and has the story.
In Savannah, growers from all over the Southeast converged on the Savannah International Trade and Convention Center. The event highlights all aspects of the fruit and vegetable industry and gives growers an opportunity to learn how to maintain safe and profitable operations. Charles Hall is the executive director of the Georgia Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association, and he has seen this conference grow over the years.
Basically got 13 different educational conferences going on, anything from food safety to roadside markets to organics to vegetables, peaches, blueberries, and then we've got a trade show that has about 300 exhibitors, and so growers can find out the latest technology of production practices, various services from that standpoint.
Besides being able to browse an expansive trade show, participants got to attend hours of educational sessions.
The other great thing about this show is that it gives growers an opportunity to come and talk to each other, learn more about what other growers are doing, find out more about the industry.
The industry takes food safety very seriously, and there were many opportunities for growers to educate themselves on some of the do's and don'ts regarding food safety.
Food safety is critical and integral to the produce industry now. It's no longer just some program that you have to implement for one or two of your customers. Food safety has now become the cost of doing business. So educating producers on new and improved handling techniques, food safety initiatives that may be going on, different audit schemes that are in the marketplace, and even customer requirements is critical to continue, for Georgia to continue to be on the cutting edge of food safety.
The roadside market session is another fast-growing sector of the industry. There was a large turnout to hear from Barry Pritchett from the Red Apple Barn in Ellijay.
I think it's great to be here. You know, we get to share our story. We get to talk to a lot of other people that are here, sharing their stories, and actually I had lunch with some row crop vegetable growers from Valdosta, and they've just got into agritourism, so we had some interesting conversations about it and the laws and just a whole lot of different things.
He utilizes Georgia Farm Bureau's Certified Farm Markets program to support his business and feels conferences like this one in Savannah help the producer's bottom line.
One reason I like to come, it's one place you can come and just get a lot of resources. I mean, not just paper resources, but people resources, just a lot of different ideas, things maybe you never would have thought about, sometimes niche or unique ideas that can make the difference in your business.
As producers leave this year's conference, they will take away a lot of information for the upcoming growing season that will help them run safe, profitable operations. For the Georgia Farm Monitor, I'm Mark Wildman.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Meantime, in what's being called a major breakthrough for the ag industry, the FAA recently issued permits for the use of drones to monitor crops and photograph properties for sale. Now, this marks the first time permission has been granted to agriculture or real estate companies for drone use. Drones, of course, can be used to make photographic measurements of farm fields, determine the health of the crop, and to look for pests with the aim of saving farmers time of walking through the fields. Drones can also carry sensors that pick up information invisible to the naked eye, which can help determine which fields need watering. Now, under these new regulations, permits require that drone operators include both a pilot on the ground as well as an observer, and that pilot have at least an FAA private pilot certificate and a current medical certificate. Additionally, the drone must also remain within line of sight of all operations at all times. Now that the holidays are over, the burning question: what to do with that rotting old Christmas tree in the backyard? Should I burn it? Take it to a landfill? Well, here's an idea. Donate it to your local goat farm. That's widely known that goats will eat just about anything, and that includes Christmas trees. Word of caution, though, just make sure the tree is free of any hooks, ornaments, or tinsel, and please, no artificial trees.
What the goats will do once they receive the tree is they will strip all the needles off, all the bark, and eat the branches down. The trees, it's a nice, healthy alternative for them. The goats, it's like candy to them. The way I got involved with goats myself was my children were involved in 4-H, and they raised goats and rabbits. Well, they switched to goats one year, and so I would go out on my property and get all the weeds together to burn when they'd open burning, and went out there and looked, and there was nothing to burn. And so it got me thinking, hey, these goats are really good at what they do, and let's take care of the fire danger.
Well, meantime, consistently ranked as one of Georgia's top communities in terms of farm gate value, Habersham County recently made a major investment to its high school ag program. Damon Jones tells you exactly what it is and why it's so important to the future of agriculture in that area.
With more than 1,200 students and 6 different teachers, the VOAG program in Habersham County has never been stronger. However, as recently as 2005, these types of classes weren't even available at the middle school level. That's when the County Farm Bureau, along with other service organizations, successfully campaigned to have them reinstated. It was a long process that really took some patience.
I think perseverance is the thing, because when we made that first initial contact with the school system, we were told that kids in Habersham County didn't want to get their hands dirty, and that most of our vocational classes were going toward a business educational mode and economics and those pathways. So we said, this is an economic engine here. We want to make sure it continues to be, but we need to make sure that our students here in this county understand the importance of agriculture.
The county's support was taken to the next level recently as hundreds gathered to cut the ribbon on a new state-of-the-art Ag Science Center located right on the high school campus. It's an investment that is sure to pay off in the future.
There's no doubt in my mind that it's going to increase enrollment in our program. Now, I say that to say enrollment is strong now, but we look for nothing but growth from our program from a county-wide perspective, and I'm certain that a facility like this will provide students opportunity to show livestock and to participate in that aspect of our program that otherwise don't get to.
This multi-purpose facility, which was funded by SPLOST dollars as well as contributions from the community and the County Farm Bureau, will allow students to take their learning outside the classroom, as it will soon be equipped with the latest technology.
This building is actually a laboratory. So while it will be used for a venue for livestock shows, it's going to be used every day in instruction. We're teaching animal science and a vet science pathway here at the high school. So it will be hands-on instruction where students will be able to come in.
We're very fortunate enough to get a capital equipment grant, and we're going to equip the inside and the outside of this barn with state-of-the-art equipment, as well as livestock handling equipment where we can bring farmers' animals in. And in essence, it will be an open air and inside air-conditioned laboratory.
And while this new building represents a strong dedication to the Habersham County Ag program, it also starts a bit of a legacy moving forward.
It's a wonderful thing. It's going to be a trademark of Habersham County for years to come. It's something that students can come back And, you know, if they were fortunate enough to have children that come back to Habersham County and get in the livestock program or the ag program, this will be here for them waiting.
Reporting from Habersham County, I'm Damon Jones for the Georgia Farm Monitor.
All right, great job, Damon. Well, still to come on the Monitor, Kenny Burgamy sits down with Saxby Chambliss to hear what the next chapter in life is now that he is officially retired from the U.S. Senate. As for the man who replaced him, David Perdue, well, if you missed his official swearing in, we've got it for you. That's next when the Georgia Farm Monitor continues.
Janie Pettigo can wear out an elliptical machine. Healthy living is the norm for this UT Extension agent from Smith County. But in 2011, Janie broke her leg in a skating accident. When she was laid up, it made her appreciate and miss exercise.
And I realized through that how important it was to get back into eating healthier, making healthier choices, and the most important part, being active.
Here's Janie teaching an exercise class in Carthage, one of the photos in UT Extension's Healthy Selfie project. Across Tennessee, UT Extension employees have been snapping shots of themselves at arm's length. Sometimes they're exercising, eating well, or in a location that promotes activity. Heather Kyle from Knox County says it's all about setting a good example.
Oh, exactly. I mean, to have credibility with my clientele, I have to walk the walk with them. So they have to see me out exercising. When I see people at the grocery store, I have to be putting healthy items into my grocery cart.
The healthy selfies are then spread through social media. For UT Extension, it's a great way to promote the organization and pass on some of the advice agents give about healthy living. Family and consumer sciences agents with UT Extension talk to people often about nutrition and the benefits of exercise. Leaders of this project say statewide participation has been great, and not just among agents, but all UT Extension employees.
But we want them to encourage the people they work with to also sort of catch yourself in the act of being healthy and take a picture and share it with somebody else so that you'll motivate them.
This time of year, many of us resolve to exercise more. That's a good resolution, but Dr. Betty GREER says think sensibly.
And part of the problems with New Year's resolutions are that people don't make it realistic. They try to accomplish too much.
So with that in mind, perhaps it's time to take a look at yourself in the new year if you want to be healthier. And one way to do that might be to turn your phone around and snap a photo. This is Chuck Denny reporting.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge your duties of the office upon which you're about to enter, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Great.
And with that, David Perdue officially took his place in Washington as Georgia's next senator, replacing the recently retired Saxby Chambliss. Perdue releasing a statement saying in part, quote, "I am honored and humbled to be Georgia's next senator, and I'm excited to work alongside my colleague, Johnny Isakson. As part of the new Senate majority, I am going to roll my sleeves up and get to work fighting for the people of Georgia. My commitment is to build consensus and work with my colleagues to produce results, but never compromise my principles," end quote. And speaking of Saxby Chambliss, last week we shared some thoughts from the former senator as he begins his life in the private sector. Now, just before he packed up his Washington office, Chambliss sat down with our own Kenny Burgamy and told him what life would be like when he's back in Georgia. And he said he has great hope for the ag industry and the start of the 114th Congress.
Back in December, as the senator told colleagues and the public goodbye.
To those current and former members of my staff, thank you for your service to me and to the state of Georgia.
He was already looking at what life will hold for him after office.
We've been fortunate that a number of people have talked to us about life after. Looks like my best fit is going to be with a law firm in some capacity. It won't be like I did for the 26 years before I came to Congress. But we're going to be moving to Atlanta. Moultrie will always be home. We'd never leave Moultrie, but we'll be relocating to Atlanta. And my primary association will be with a law firm.
Chambliss told me he's excited about David Perdue's role working with Georgia farmers and with Johnny Isakson.
My work in the Senate as well as in the political realm, campaigning for other folks, played a role in Republicans taking the majority, and I'm happy for these guys. My replacement, David Perdue, is a great friend, a great man, and he's going to do a good job. I'm happy for him. Johnny Isakson, my dear friend of 52 years, is going to be a committee chairman of a major committee. Wow, I'm excited and happy for him.
Senator Perdue said he realizes what a great champion Saxby Chambliss has been for the farmers and producers in Georgia.
Well, you know, I went on the floor of the Senate for the first time a few weeks ago, and I was really humbled and sobered, but I walked away really encouraged. You know, Saxby Chambliss has done such a great job for the farmers of Georgia, and I hope to do just, you know, to be as good a partner as he's been over these last 12 years. These are big shoes to fill, and Senator Isakson is also a great friend of the state farming community, and he and I will be great partners in making sure that we do everything we can to make the farming communities of Georgia healthy.
And Chambliss said he's looking forward to his new life in the private sector.
I'm looking forward to spending time with grandchildren and with good friends and enjoying life and not having to worry about going to make a political speech tomorrow.
All right, great job, Kenny. And just a reminder, if you missed any part of the story or others on today's program, you can still see them in their entirety at our YouTube channel. That is the Georgia Farm Monitor. Once there, you can browse the archives of stories dating as far back as 2009. And once you're done watching those informative stories, just keep clicking like the Georgia Farm Monitor Facebook page we have set up for you. The numbers continue to rise, the likes. If you have a story idea or if you just want to leave us a comment or suggestion, feel free to send us a message either on Facebook or at the address listed below. That is news@farm-monitor.com. Up next on the Monitor, they're fun, they're educational, and they're just a mouse click away. How-to videos on everything you want to know about farming. Details next when the Georgia Farm Monitor continues.
I'm Ann Alonzo, AMS Administrator. Here at USDA's Agriculture Marketing Service, or AMS, we recognize that the face of agriculture is changing. As we oversee more than 20 research and promotion boards that provide nutrition, research, marketing, and consumer outreach, AMS knows that board members need to reflect the diversity of the industries they represent and the consumers they serve. This means adding more talented women and minorities, as well as seeking diversity in members' age, size of operation, geographic distribution, and production practices. The recently released data from the 2012 Census of Agriculture also tells us that all categories of minority-operated farms increased since the 2007 census. Hispanic-operated farms, for example, had a significant 21% increase, so it looks like we have minority farmer talent in the marketplace. Let's do all we can to attract these minority farmers to our boards. AMS is committed to supporting and strengthening the effectiveness of our boards and making sure that they can adapt to a fast-changing marketplace. A major part of this effort is cultivating board leadership that provides diverse experiences, perspectives, and opinions. We've put together the video to encourage diverse candidates to serve on the boards, which we know will improve their overall effectiveness. We'd like you to hear firsthand why some of our current board members answered the call to serve, with the hope that it will encourage other talented candidates to be a part of strengthening youth.
It becomes like just a big family, and everybody helps you along because there's so many things going on with our board, new innovation, new partnerships, new research. It's just so exciting to be a part of that and hear all the exciting things that we have opportunities to become involved in. I really think that women are very well accepted on the board. The women who have paved the way in the past ahead of me, it has been a majority of men, I think, but the women that have come involved open the door more for women like me. We have a lot of new, younger board members.
You can find more information about our boards at www.ams.usda.gov/research and promotion. You can also call our outreach office at 202-690-0487. Remember, it takes good leaders for an industry to prosper. With your help, our research and promotion boards can ensure that American agriculture will continue to be a leader in the global economy. Thank you very much.
And finally today, from our friends at the U.S. Farmers and Ranchers Alliance, comes a series of how-to videos about farming and ranching aimed at educating the public. Hosted by blogger Kelly Snyder, the videos range between 2 and 4 minutes and highlight the daily activities of farmers and ranchers. Now, in the first 2 videos, viewers get an up-close look at just how farmers grow and raise food, including how to milk 1,200 cows a day and how to gather 50,000 eggs a day.
Brian, I'm ready to milk cows.
You're not going to need those, Kelly. We're doing it a little different in the dairy industry today. Let me show you what we're doing.
Okay.
In here we have a double 28. There's 56 units. We milk 56 at a time. They're in here about 14 minutes. In that 14 minutes, they produce about 3 1/3 gallon per milking, which equates to about 9 to 10 gallon a day.
Wow.
Milk is a unique product. Milk is never touched by the human hand. Once we attach the milker, there is a vacuum. If you put your hand over there, you'll feel it.
It's like suction.
Yes.
It's 7:30 in the morning in Monette, Missouri on Ron's farm. And the chickens normally lay their eggs between 7 and 11. And I think this baby is about ready to pop. Woo! She's been working on this for 24 hours. A chicken like this one can lay close to 300 eggs in the course of a year. But Ron, he gathers close to 50,000 eggs every single day. Let's go see how he does it.
To gather 50,000 eggs a day and take care of that many hens and keep them healthy, we've got to protect them from the elements. That's why we have them in a nice housing. We have to feed and water them. We do that with automated systems. And then to gather those eggs, they come down an automated belt. As far as feed, it's a timed chain system that pulls the feed around. It's so the girls always have feed in front of them.
The milk comes down through here, it goes into this lower pipeline, and then it is being pumped into our system that cools it. This is where the milk is coming in.
Okay.
It's coming in this pipe. Then it goes through 2 sets of filters. The filters remove any of the impurities from the milk, and then it is pumped through the filters into the chiller. This is what is telling us the temperature of the milk. So right now we're pumping the milk at 32.5 degrees.
Our nests are on either side of the play area here, and the chickens just naturally like to go in that closed area. They feel safe, secure, and they'll go in there of a morning and lay their eggs. They come out at body temperature. We have 36 hours to meet FDA guidelines of below 45 degrees. Try to grab maybe 2 in each hand to start with. If you're not dropping them, that's great.
So we were in the chilling room, and this is where the milk is being pumped through the chilling room in this hose onto the tanker. So within 24 hours, it's delivered to the dairy to be bottled and put into cartons for the kids. Feeding time kind of is all day here. We feed twice a day, but the cows have access to feed all day long. Most of the feed is produced on the farm. The minerals and the vitamins we have to buy, but we are pretty well a sustainable farm as far as our food production.
The egg comes out of our cooler, it goes into the truck, which also is refrigerated, and from there it travels about 30 miles to our plant where it's cleaned, sorted, graded, and packed off to the grocery store.
This sand is used here to bed the cows with. Cows love to lay in sand, keeps them clean, and then we also recycle this sand and reuse it for bedding.
So let me get this straight. I get as much food as I want, water, I get to lay on the beach every day. This is sounding like a pretty good gig. I'm thinking I'm gonna like it here.
All right, great stuff. Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Georgia Farm Monitor. Just a reminder, for all the latest ag info regarding food, great recipes, and what's happening down on the farm, be sure to check out our Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest page. You will stay informed and see what's up in the world of farming and the Farm Monitor Show. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week right here on the Georgia Farm Monitor. Have a great week.